They are the ones who take. It's not even what we have done is to create an ecosystem, to create an environment where ordinary young people can come. They are trained, they are shaped in their mindset, and they are given opportunity to work. And so those ones, they live actually, they say mission vehicles made in Uganda. And they really believe, they are passionate about this. So, and you, my friends in the media, I need you to believe this. Now that you are seeing, they say seeing is believing and touching. You are riding in the buses. These buses are among the best globally. Not in Africa. Of course, we can talk about Uganda, because this is the only factory which makes buses which we can say they are made in Uganda, because internationally they have a unique serial number, the vehicle identification number. So it has been accredited internationally to make vehicles. And this now opens up lots of opportunities. You know, a vehicle has so many parts, and not all those parts, even some that we are making here, we would rather subcontract and we focus on the main thing. So there are not opportunities just for jobs, there are opportunities for young companies to start, come, manufacture, supply, because there is a client here already. So you are not going to struggle with buying.
Honorable, you talked about Makerere. I do understand the government takes about 96% and Makerere University takes about 4% when it comes to ownership, and this is where it started from. How best have you empowered youths to ensure that they do come up with other innovative ideas, and how best are you supporting them over that?
Not only Makerere, but actually all youth. But at Makerere specifically, KIIRA Motors is working with a facility there, they call it the iPod. It's an innovation facility, and we are skilling students such that they spend time there, they understand our concepts, they think about different parts, then they come here and they try to see how to make it. But they are trying to innovate. Okay, this part is like this. What if I innovated a variant? What if I got a better one which will give us a new model? So they are opening up those opportunities. But in science, technology, and innovation, we also have, when you have facilities like this, you need a center. So we established what we call the EDIC, the Engineering Development and Innovation Center, where we can gather students and young engineers from all over, including those doing TVET, those who are doing diplomas, those who are doing certificates. You put them in teams and they work on specific components. And they can design, they can innovate, they can design, they can prototype, they can manufacture there. So that as they grow as companies, then that is how you create jobs.
Honorable, we do expect the president actually to arrive any time from now. What is there that Ugandans have to appreciate at this very particular point, because you're championing this, and I do understand that part of your agenda is to champion development?
Yes, Uganda has been dependent on raw materials, agriculture, minerals, timber, sand, those things. But as the president is saying, we now need to shift the economy into a knowledge-based economy. And that is the only way we can shift now. We will continue the conversation. We need to welcome His Excellency.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Honorable Minister in charge of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Musenero. As I talk right now, the dignitaries are actually taking their positions. I do see the Honorable Minister for Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao. I also do see the Honorable Minister Matia Kasaija for Finance. I also do see many other dignitaries. I see the Governor Bank of Uganda. I also do see other dignitaries who are actually taking their positions, and that is a sign that they are actually ready to receive the president, that is General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. But of course, we also have to appreciate the equity partners, where the government of Uganda actually is represented by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. I did have to tell you that the office actually takes about 96% when it is representing government, and of course Makerere University holding about 4%. But also we also have to realize that Africa's first electric vehicle was developed under the KIIRA electric vehicle project. That was in 2011, and it also developed Africa's first hybrid vehicle, that is the KIIRA EVS, that is in 2014, and Africa's first solar electric bus, that is the Kayola solar bus, in 2016. Those are some of the issues that are actually on board, but of course we are here to witness the President of Uganda commissioning KIIRA vehicle plant. The government of Uganda, that actually acting through Uganda Investment Authority, that is UIA, allocated about 100 acres of land to establish this vehicle plant, but also located in Jinja. A lot of things we have to do appreciate from this very particular place, but these are some of actually the entities that we have actually seen even on the roads. Those who use the Entebbe Express Highway, those who use some parts of the roads that are actually going to Jinja, but also in the city center we've seen these KIIRA motor vehicles that have actually been assembled in this very particular place being used by Ugandans, and those that actually appreciate are there, just like the Honorable Minister has actually stated it, that there are those Ugandans who have actually appreciated this initiative, but there are also those who have actually not appreciated. The drums that you're actually hearing in the background, those are actual entertainers who are here to as well entertain the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, while he is being received by a number of dignitaries here in Jinja as he commissions KIIRA vehicle plant. It is very important. Now, the construction and the installation over the 3.7 kilometers long, that is 33 kV medium voltage electricity line connecting KIIRA vehicle plant site to the national electricity grid was actually completed long time ago. It is a very, very wide vicinity that we have actually must appreciate. And of course, not forgetting that in August, that was in 2021, the progress of the construction of this plant was reported at 85%, with a completion expected in the fourth quarter. That was in the calendar year 2021. So we are actually going to witness this. This is a project that actually government has actually invested in heavily, of course taking the biggest or the lion's share, that is at 96%, and Makerere University taking about 4%. That is something that also we have to take note. That is a symbol that actually government is full in charge of this initiative, but also looking at what so far has been done. Like I told you earlier, President Museveni laid the foundation stone for the KIIRA vehicle plant. That is on 14th August 2021, and at the event he directed that there will no longer be any importation of fully built buses in Uganda. I will have to say that again, that in 2021, that is on 14th August, the President at the event, while he was actually laying a foundation stone, he did say that there will no longer be any importation of fully built buses into Uganda. What does that imply? That KIIRA Motors, we must appreciate, Honorable Minister did talk about 11 buses being actually put out in one day. That is something that Ugandans need to appreciate. And of course, in May 2022, the Ugandan Finance Ministry released the final 159 billion Ugandan shillings to ensure that they do invest in this very important package. This set stage of completion of the manufacturing plan and the beginning of the commercial production anticipated was actually in June 2023. So as we talk now, business is moving on as usual. The plant has actually manufactured a number of vehicles, but of course what the President will be witnessing today is how exactly are these cars assembled, how exactly and at what point do they get somewhere, at what point do deliveries coming, and at what point and when and where is our market? Do these vehicles actually stay only in Uganda? That is something that we need to agree at a very, very particular time. But also we need to get a feel of what is actually happening at this very particular place. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni actually This very particular time. Engineers are actually going to show the president what has been so far done. President MUSEVENI President MUSEVENI, he is going to take a picture with the dignitaries, the honorable ministers in place, but also the directors of this very particular place. KIIRA Motors Corporation, a state mobility enterprise, was established to champion a value addition in the nascent motor vehicle industry in Uganda. Of course, that is through technology, transfer, contract manufacturing, and the supply chain localization.
We also go for productivity. So most of the equipment we have here, Your Excellency, is computerized. We load the program on the computer, and once it's loaded on the computer, we are then able to process the equipment. If we need a node, this node could be for holding a light or for a dead ball, or even for a wiper blade. And then the equipment is also enables us to process the over 300 graphics that we need.
President MUSEVENI touring the facility. President MUSEVENI being taken around by the director in charge of this facility and appreciating what has actually been done so far. Through science, technology and innovation, the Minister of ICT steps towards building a sustainable ecosystem development.
adding, Your Excellency, now here we are adding more content. You see the radiator is coming in. Then because the radiator is sensitive, we protect it as we continue adding content. By the time we come to this place, those components which will be difficult to integrate in the bus once the frame is welded on are finished. Then we get this scorpion lift and we carry this thing and we put it on top, and then we weld them together to have the core skeleton of the coach bus. Yeah. Makerere, yes.
This one is from where?
That one is one of our workers here.
And this one?
Also one of our employees here. Yeah.
Okay. So where do we go now?
When the frame is now ready, we move it to the welding line, and we start by aligning it to ensure that the frame has come together very well to avoid any misalignment, which later could result into parts like the glass cracking or the axles having chatter and misalignment. So once we do that, then we come here and we do that alignment. Then we start. You could follow me, Your Excellency. We then start. You remember the brackets we made. Now we start ensuring that all the brackets go in, because in the future we're going to be installing all forms of components into this frame and body as the superstructure. So we put in all the necessary brackets, the over 300 brackets, and then once that is done, we then proceed to do the firewalls. So we have two layers of the walls of the bus. The internal one is we do sill plates, and then we put foam to help us with the heat intrusion protection, noise intrusion protection, but also protecting against having insects and pests hiding in there and brooding in that place. So we work on that, and as you see here, the team is welding the sill plates to make the internal firewall. And then between the sill plates, that is the place we will then apply for. So we firewall all the areas with the necessary material, and then the bus is moved, the frame is moved to this area where we do paneling. Like now you see the other one, they are doing paneling. Yeah, so when you do paneling, you're now creating the outer skin of the bus that then gives us the look and the feel of what it will look like, and provide you that area which you would then go ahead to decorate. So once this is finished, the entire body is then moved over to the paint shop. So let us try to go through here, Your Excellency. As you go down, by the time we get down, we have concluded and we have the complete body. We have the complete body and frame. That complete body and frame is taken to the paint shop. In the paint shop, we do, first of all, protection from corrosion. So all the hidden surfaces, which we call Class B surfaces and Class C surfaces, we protect from corrosion. And then NRM.
Yeah.
So, Excellency, we are going to pass through here. So the finished body and frame is then painted. This paint shop is the most advanced heavy-duty vehicle painting shop on this continent. We have so far built 30% of it, and we hope to extend it and even install robotics to enable us to have better quality and higher productivity. Your Excellency, we will stand here and you can see some of the work that is going on. So we carry out a number of processes in here. We prepare the surface because the surface has to be very clean. Otherwise, the paint material will peel off. Then after that, if in case there are any blemishes, we panel beat, and then we undercoat, or rather we prime the surface so that the coating can stick. Then we undercoat, a number of hands of undercoating. We put the intermediate coat, again a number of layers depending on the target client. And then we put the final coat, and then clear. Then we bake using LPG. Now this body shop is our bottleneck in the production process because the processes are slow and so far mainly manual. So we have 2 acres of solar panels on the roof so that when the power goes off when we are working, we can at least complete the job in order for us not to waste the material. So from there, the bus is then taken back to this line. Can go through here, Your Excellency. Integrate steering system, brake system. You can go through here, Your Excellency. And the drive axles. If it's electric, we put battery and the motor. If it's diesel, we put the engine. And then an automated guided vehicle picks the bus, which is not yet drivable, and it takes it to the trim and the final assembly line where we do all the finishing. And that's where we are going to go right now, Your Excellency. Yes. So this journey, from starting to the time when the bus is finished, at a top efficiency takes us 14 days to work through that process. Yes. And I must note, Your Excellency, that this bus plant here is the biggest, most capable, and most competent bus manufacturing plant on the African continent. So, Excellency, you will board your vehicle, and then you will follow us, and we go to the trim building. Yes. Okay.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni actually boarding his vehicle. He will be taken to another plant or another structure where he has actually to appreciate what has actually been done so far. He was actually touring the entire place, seeing what has been so far done. But of course, not forgetting that starting in 2022, KIIRA Motor Corporation began to supply both electric and diesel buses to Tondeka Metro bus services, but also to establish what is being done. It is very important to appreciate what has actually been done. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni making a tour at KIIRA vehicle plant. It is very, very, because we do have to ascertain a number of buses have been actually manufactured, but KIIRA vehicle plant. President Museveni, what he is doing right now is actually doing an official launch of these buses. Another 600 buses were actually planned to be delivered in 2023, and I do understand those buses were actually delivered. The first base of the TMS buses were also delivered, and those were about 980. The first actually company that made an order, it was Uganda Civil Aviation Authority.
That the press should come to this bus. You understand?
But you are bringing the other
please. Let's not get the, we go with briefing. You are given a briefing.
Uganda Civil Aviation Authority did make the first order, and it was actually delivered. Honorable Dr. Musenero, in the first place, did talk about how very many Ugandans haven't actually appreciated what has been so far done. But she says a lot of things have to be done to change their narrative, but also change their mindset to appreciate what has been done so far. KIIRA vehicle plant is what the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is touring right now, and later in the day he will be actually making an official launch. Honorable Minister Dr. Monica Mseno did talk about how they did start from KIIRA University, assembling the first few items that they did have in place. And right now, they do have something that is actually practically seen, and it is now Ugandans to appreciate what we have in place. 11 buses being worked on every day is something that Ugandans have to have in mind, but also accommodate and see how best all these items can actually be used. President MUSEVENI still touring the KIIRA vehicle plant. It is actually raining outside, but we know President MUSEVENI as a soldier, this is something that actually doesn't stop him from doing what he has to do. The dignitaries are actually going to still take him around. A number of ministers are still around to see how best this can actually be done. The first phase of the TMB system being planned to absorb about 980 buses. Of course, the future stages requiring more units. That is something government is actually still working on to see how Ugandans can appreciate the different initiatives that are being done by the people of Uganda. The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, took definitive steps towards building a sustainable and scalable e-mobility ecosystem, and the government, the national e-mobility strategy aims at positioning Uganda as a net source rather than a consumer of e-mobility solutions in Africa. This is something government is actually fighting to ensure that Uganda becomes one of the leading countries when it comes to manufacturing some of these items that are actually being done by Ugandans. They have encouraged very many youths to ensure that they come up with all the innovative ideas, and the government is actually ready to implement most of their strategies, driving Uganda forward. And this is actually part of the plans that is actually in the National Development Plan 4. They do have an agenda also of not leaving anyone behind. KIIRA Motors, building the state of the mobility. They want to actually champion development in Africa. How best can they champion this? That is something we needed to ascertain by the government of Uganda. A number of vehicles have been assembled at KIIRA vehicle plant, but of course
So, Excellency, when the vehicle leaves the other side, it is carried by that platform over here, and then it's brought here for the final trimming, where we start by doing the carpentry for the boards. We are going to pass through here, Your Excellency. So we have a carpentry arsenal here, which we use for processing the floorboards, and these are mainly bamboo. They are not eaten by insects, they don't absorb water, and they don't catch fire. And once that is done, we start installing the second line of electricals, And as you see, the people are busy doing.
How do the bamboo you do?
Bamboo, we use it because it doesn't catch fire. It has a fire retardant in its processing. You see the boards in there. It doesn't suck water, and it was also not eaten by insects. Even if you put it in an anthill, it will stay the same way it is. So then we install air conditioning. We continue with the electrical installations and the other fittings inside. Then we install the glass and the closures. We install the doors. We do all the trim components, the lights, the wipers, and all of those other external features of the bus, the escape hatches. And then towards the end of the line, we also install the seats. We add fluids. If it needs to be charged as electrical, we charge the bus, and then it is started for the first time. Once it is started for the first time, we do the calibration, and then we continue. Now, Your Excellency, you will notice that that bay is tooled, and for expansion, we will need to tool this bay. With the current capacity, installed capacity, we have the capacity to do 2,500 buses a year here. That boils down to 11 a day, if we have a constant flow of material and also the skill and the manpower. Once we have finished tooling and checking the bus, it is then driven to the other facility over there, where we then proceed to have the bus tested. It goes through regulatory and compliance tests, water intrusion, acceleration, axle loading, amongst others, to ensure that it meets all the necessary requirements and standards. Some of them are national standards, others are international regulation. Then if it's a client bus, then we invite the client to do pre-delivery inspection, and then we are good to go. So these are the chargers we use for charging the electric buses on the line. Now, Your Excellency, as we proceed outside, we already have clients who have bought some buses, and we would like to use this opportunity to have the pleasure of you delivering these buses to the clients who are here today. Yeah, so we have a private client called Lamu, and then we have Makerere University taking the 3. Last week we delivered to Civil Aviation. Your Excellency, the other buses you see over there, Your Excellency, the other buses you see over there, those are the most capable electric buses on the African continent. They can do over 500 kilometers once fully charged. These ones we are working with the city of Dar es Salaam, and they will be going to Dar es Salaam. I would now wish to invite you to check one of our city buses and inspect this. This is built for the ordinary person.
You use this mic for all.
President MUSEVENI is actually boarding one of the buses. He will be actually getting a feel of and see how things will actually be.
All right. We want to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently at the trimming plant on the outside, where the buses that have been manufactured and are ready for the market are actually going to be handed over. His Excellency the President will very shortly hand over these buses to some of their recipients, including academic institutions like Makerere University and one of our private clients, Lamu. And I wanted to request the team to allow Lamu to join me very quickly. At the moment, he's in one of our
President MUSEVENI has actually, he's still touring the vehicles. of course, to appreciate what is being done so far. Still, let's have a feel of what actually is happening.
Air conditioning components. It comes with a refrigerator, some of them. Globally, for example, this bus, here you have given us some of the concepts, and it's going to step at the global market for this electric one is going for over 300,000. More than ours. Then our diesel ones, which are going for 150,000, they are between, these ones going for about 145, and those ones going for 200,000, depending on whether you're doing the Isuzu or Scania on the higher side. Yes. So, Excellency, we can now invite you to go and hand over the buses to the clients. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, very shortly, His Excellency the President will be handing over these buses to our clients.
Yes. Our very first client that will have opportunity to receive is Lamu, a private commercial bus transport company that is now taking ownership of their second unit from KIIRA Motors. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Lamu. And now, KIIRA University will very shortly receive these brand new buses, the KIIRA coach and KIIRA EVS. These are specially fitted buses. Big round of applause for KIIRA University. His Excellency are now to the brand new buses to KIIRA coach, KIIRA EVS, that is actually with special needs. We want to thank you for this and holding back Viola coach that is provided here at the we invite our to make their way and the building. We await the president will be joining us shortly. And as soon as
Go, 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 go.
Irene. 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 Na YouTube. Anthony achukute. Ahora no le van a quedar muy buena. Kuba. Eva, isso abade walula sali.
So President Museveni will be actually participating on the tree planting as one of the signs of the official launch of KIIRA vehicle motor plant. President Museveni has visited most of the sites, but as he goes ahead to plant his tree, it is going to be one of the signs that KIIRA vehicle plant has actually officially been launched. The KIIRA Motor Cooperative's journey dates back in 2007, of course evolving from an extra curricular activity under the auspices of the Macquarie University Faculty of Technology to a university curricular activity and later a mainstream national initiative for automotive manufacturing. In 2007, a global consortium of over 31 universities and colleges
Sasso?
So, Your Excellency, that is a sour sop-free chitaferi. It has several health benefits, but it's also a fruit tree, and it does very well here. And it's a very commemorative tree.
We are studying it for cancer and diabetes, and high blood pressure.
Obugalo.
The team from the Faculty of Technology, now College of Engineering, Design, Art and Technology, was actually responsible for design and integration of the low power electronics and data networking systems. But of course, given that experience in building the vision, 200 other global experiences, through collaborations and best practices, benchmarking, the KIIRA team resolved to embark on a project aimed at designing and building a vehicle in Uganda. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni gracing the occasion here at KIIRA Motors Corporation, where he is actually officially launching the KIIRA vehicle plant. A number of dignitaries are actually available to grace the occasion. What is going on right now, he is actually having a one-on-one meeting with some of the organizers and those who are actually behind this initiative. When he came earlier, he was actually guided through the entire area. He did visit some of the assembling plants. He did appreciate what is being done so far. What we are actually waiting to see, given the fact that he has actually planted a tree as a sign of gracing this occasion, but of course also receiving some rain as I talk now. It is a blessing, and we must appreciate what is in place so far. At a later time, we shall be getting to know some of the things that actually we shall be understanding, but at a later time, we shall be actually handing over to the main MC of the event. So for now, I do hand over, but later we shall be having some interviews at a later time. I will be interviewing some individuals at a later time to see what they do have for us at a very, very particular time. We shall be understanding what has been done so far. I do see the Honorable Minister, Matia Kasaija, and other dignitaries actually at a later time. I will see if I can actually talk to him and see how best have they funded this project to ensure that Ugandans appreciate, and how best can this be sustainably kept to ensure that Ugandans continue benefiting more from this initiative.
And we were talking to the guys doing the welding. Oh, this was very important.
Yes, indeed. It's a very young team as well, a young, energetic team. We'll be hearing more about that. And the official commissioning of the KIIRA vehicle plant, which is incredibly exciting.
Maybe still to take you through some of the history that we did get in place at this very particular time. The Center of Research in Transport Technologies was then actually conceived under Macquarie University in December 2008 and approved as part of the university structures, effective, that was in 2011. The initiative of coming up with this idea of innovating to come up with buses actually started in about 2007. So you realize that this initiative, very many people have actually been capitalizing on it, but also building on it to ensure that they bring up something that is mega. Uganda wants to be part of those countries that actually can work as a backbone when it comes to the transformation and the transport sector. The successful execution of the KIIRA EV project led to the establishment of the KIIRA Motors project as a government initiative for automotive industry development aimed at establishing a vehicle plant in Uganda. So the KIIRA Motors project actually started the KIIRA Vehicle Technology Innovation Program, through which the KIIRA EVs marked the first electric hybrid vehicle designed and built in Africa, was developed and unveiled at a very high-profile event at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi. That was in actually 2014. The team then designed and built the KIIRA solar bus, the first electric solar bus designed and built in Africa. President MUSEVENI, who is gracing this occasion, as I do talk now, is actually engaging part of the event organizers, but also the directors who are in charge of this facility. At a later time, we shall be understanding from them what has been agreed upon going forward, having understood that very many Ugandans are actually being accommodated in this place as employees and employers. Very many people have actually changed their lives because of this mega initiative. President MUSEVENI gracing this occasion is a symbol that this is actually a national facility. So right now, I want to hand over to the main tent and then get to understand what KIIRA is for us.
If you are from one of our big companies, you cannot just come here and eat our food. If we keep speaking about the expo, it's because we were here last week for the e-mobility expo. So every time I said last week, you were wondering, why were they here last week?
We were here for 2 days, Thursday and Friday.
The smaller EVS, the KIIRA EVS, is really a special product of KIIRA and for Makerere. Crystal, why?
The one for special needs.
Yes.
Yes. Specially designed.
For just Makerere University. For students with special needs.
Yes.
That's amazing. And so that's the beginning. So if you're here and you're from, and I've seen some people from some of our agencies, I'm looking around, I will name you. You need to leave a commitment here. Do we have the director of marketing? I need to link you to some of our people. Where's the director of marketing? Please stand for recognition. There you go. He's another young man. Last people were told the average age here is about what, 34?
They said 32, around 32.
And so the minister said she's the reason it's at 34, because it should have been lower. All right, so we want commitments, but we can speak to what happened last week, because there were several deals signed and commitments made during the National E-Mobility Expo. And we'll be speaking to that, and I'm sure the CEO will be speaking to that. But we're super excited. There were 7 countries here.
Teams from different countries. Yes. And what was so exciting was the feedback. They were literally just gobsmacked. They were amazed because this is evidence that we have the largest and most capable bus manufacturing facility in Africa, right here.
Surely those hand claps are not enough, really. And we appreciate KIIRA working with more.
So one of the things Morris just mentioned that you might have missed last week at the expo was a chance for people to test drive some of the EV vehicles, cars here. I managed to take a ride. I drove in one of the little EVs. The pink one.
Yeah. It had to be pink for
I wasn't trusted with one of the bigger ones.
It had to be pink for you.
It had to be pink for me. But also, what was so exciting was the electric buses and seeing people of all ages jumping on the buses and riding all around this facility. So there's so many options. And today we are looking at commitment because much as this has now started to bear fruit, it is just the start of this story, the start of this journey. Because this plant has the capacity to produce up to 11 buses every day, in a single day. No, not a week, in a single day.
And just imagine, because they have a huge target, Crystal. The target I have looked at in their strategy is to build, and they can actually increase production up to 10,000 units every year by 2030. if we actually need to do all the things we need to do for them. So 10,000. But you need to find the market also, right?
Absolutely. So we have to make that happen.
That's why there's 2 units there, Crystal, that are going to Tanzania. And those 2 units will be used on the public transport system in Tanzania.
You mentioned commitment
Yes.
for more buses, and I believe we also have commitment
Yes.
from Tanzania as well.
Yes. So the DRT, you'll see them, they're blue in color. DRT awaiting clearance from, yes, I see when Ruth shows me the screen, I need to, This was when the buses were in Tanzania. Yes. This is when our EVS was in Tanzania. Clearly, that beach is not here in Uganda. Very clearly. And that bridge really is not, it's not the ginger one. This one, the beautiful one we used. Yeah. So this is when it was on a test drive in Tanzania.
Yes, indeed.
And also featured in part of these celebrations, I think, at the Julius Nyerere Day in Tanzania. And that's when the conversation on working with Tanzania began through a high commission in Tanzania. So we have 2 units awaiting clearance from the necessary offices.
Yes, indeed, which is exciting times because we love to talk about Bull, Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. And then we see that not only are these buses, have they been all around the country, all around Uganda, but we want to see these buses all across the continent, all across Africa.
So we are saying this because a lot of the stuff we're saying we will not be able to say. We're a very short program. In fact, if you notice that everyone's speaking, myself or Crystal are standing right next to them, it's because we've been told how much time they need to speak for.
Yes, indeed.
We probably have 3 speeches here. So a lot of the things we're saying we will not say when His Excellency the President is. We will be within managed time.
Yes, indeed.
And so we are allowing ourselves the leverage to tell you as much as we can about KIIRA Motors. We are currently standing at 277 staff. 277 staff.
The team continues to grow.
Yes. And I can guarantee you when we are back here next year for the expo, if invited, again, I just need to, I'm throwing it in there so that we get invited. If invited.
If invited.
If invited.
Definitely.
We definitely will find a bigger number. But it's an extremely young team. I met the person who took me around on my factory tour last week was about 25 years old.
Okay.
A university engineer graduate. Mechanical engineering, and he literally spoke like he was here when they were building the factory. But speaking about building the factory, Christo, we need to really appreciate one particular group, NEC, National Enterprise Corporation. Can we appreciate NEC, ladies and gentlemen?
Round of applause for them.
They put in place this facility. Oh gosh, these buses look so beautiful in this picture.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah, these look. We were talking about the facility. Let's focus. So they put together this facility in 4 years, and we must appreciate them. This is really a marvel for Busoga. Can we appreciate NEC one more time, ladies and gentlemen?
It is eye-opening to the possibilities, what can actually happen.
Yes.
Because I was being told about that day when at least the groundbreaking happened a few years ago. And interestingly, it is raining. Well, it's just a bit of a drizzle, but it was a rainy season. It was incredibly muddy, and it was so hard to imagine what we see today.
Right.
So it is possible.
It is very possible. And we also speaking about going green. The future is green.
Sustainable solutions.
Yes.
That is something that is very, very passionate when it comes to the team here, and something that as a country we are very proud of, that we have evidence of investment and moving forward when it comes to mobility sustainable solutions.
What's also interesting for me, Christo, is that every time I come here, I find a lot of work that has been done in a very short period.
Yes.
And so we were here last year, and so when you look at what has happened over the last 1 year, that's amazing. We were being told last night another brand new bus was off the line, and I think during the conference that bus was literally being worked on while we were here.
Exactly.
And we never stopped them from working.
Activities were happening, work did not stop.
Yep. And so that unit was fresh off the line. I think is one of those that is lined up there, which His Excellency the President was fortunate to witness. I was excited when Paul asked the president that cabinet should be traveling in these buses when they are going to cabinet, rather than have
Yes.
all these nice SUVs driving from Kampala to Entebbe. We stationed the KIIRA coach somewhere in maybe at one of the hotels. I won't do the ad here. And all the ministers gather there, honorable minister. So we reduced the fuel budget. You can all move in the KIIRA coach or KIIRA EVS.
I think this is a
you
very
don't- you-
exciting solution.
You don't believe my dream. I was dreaming.
No. I am listening intently. It's not a dream. It can be a reality. Yes? Work in progress.
Professor here is not so sure about what I'm saying. But you need to dream, Professor, sometimes. Yeah, but we spoke about hosting cabinet here. You remember last
Yes,
week?
indeed.
And the honorable ministers who are here, we would like one of your sessions to be hosted here so the other ministers can appreciate what we have here. Yes, and since we have almost a third of them, they will commit to the others coming
Yes,
and joining
indeed.
them.
So
Yeah.
we're putting that out there because
Uh-huh.
as Ugandans, or as they say, as Africans, you know, to see, you want to touch, you want to be right there where the action is. And that needs to happen here because we don't want to have Uganda's best kept secret here at KIIRA Vehicle Plant. We need everyone to visit, to see, and to know about it. And on that note, when the next expo comes, we
Yes.
know that even more will have happened here, and we invite all of you to be part of that.
And I think I have a date or dates. Those were shared with me. So please pick up your calendar. I just want you to block the following days. And I remember these were shared with me by the CEO. So I clearly, there was a lot of consultation on these dates. I know that it's in November. So please look out for November. So the National E-Mobility Expo 2026 will be in November 2026, the last week on the 26th and 27th of 2026. We even know when we are
I'm
coming
happy
back.
to see people actually are scheduling it in
Yeah.
their phones.
Please
If
put it
you are
in.
not looking at your phone right now.
We know who you are.
I see you, I see you.
Yeah,
so
we know.
26th and 27th of November, 2026.
Yes. Please join us for the third edition. That will be the third edition, Crystal, right?
Mhm.
Yes, of the National E-Mobility
I'm sure it will be even
Expo.
bigger, even more exciting.
Yes.
It has grown so much from last year to this year, and it is something that really opens up your eyes to possibilities.
So one of the key results out of the expo this last week was from the Deers room. The order book is 400 buses. 400 buses.
Can we have a round of applause for that? 400 buses.
And I'm still giving you more information.
Ooh.
There was also an order book for 62 chargers. And the total value for all this is $89 million US, ladies and gentlemen.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, now the hard work is how to get that done.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have to make that
And
happen.
see it to the finish line.
And even more. You did say the capacity is 10,000
Yes.
buses by 2030
Yes.
every year.
Per year,
So
yes.
there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
And we need all the stakeholders, and I'm glad all the stakeholders are here. Of course, our key partners, the Ministry of Defense, where neck falls. Our key partners, the Ministry of Finance, that provide the financing. And we are very grateful. $120 million US invested by the Ugandan government is no mean investment. Can we appreciate the Minister of
my
Finance?
goodness.
And all the key stakeholders are here. The private sector is here.
Yes.
Our government departments and agencies are here. We need them to procure as many other buses as they can. We need to begin conversations with our stakeholders in the region to build a market for these buses. And
All
that
across the country.
is the hard work the children are already working on. And so we clearly will cross the line. But we want to welcome you to the commissioning. And shortly, His Excellency the President will be joining us for the official commissioning of the KIIRA vehicle plant. It's an extremely short engagement as soon as he joins us here. And I'm humbly requesting all those that will be speaking to note that we have been provided a very short window to ensure His Excellency can return to other engagements.
So we kindly ask that you keep your remarks as
Yes.
brief
Don't-
and
don't allow-
precise as
Yeah,
possible.
don't allow me and Christo to walk towards you and start writing a note and sending it.
Stepping forward
Or
very
stepping
carefully.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But can we also report to them? Because they might be very powerful people. We
Eh.
can only report them upwards. Say, we have no control
So we put it out there right now.
Yeah. But
Ladies and gentlemen, we also want to just thank you, each and every one of you, for being here today to support the commissioning of this plant. It is so exciting.
And there is a special category we want to appreciate, the Ginger District leadership. Can we request the Ginger District leadership, if you're here, to stand so we can appreciate you? Because you're very integral in this conversation. The Deputy RDC is here, the RDC. Please, Mayor, can we all stand if we are part of the team? Chairman, LC1. You see, this is our team. These are very important stakeholders. Thank you so much, Ginger District leadership. And we really want to appreciate you. It may be very difficult to recognize all of you when His Excellency is here, but we really want to appreciate you. And we want to appreciate our key stakeholders. Britam, who were here with us last week.
Yes, Britam Insurance.
Yes.
They actually underwrite the buses as well, so that is amazing.
Yes.
Very important.
We appreciate the other key stakeholders. These include, of course, the Capital Markets Authority. We are beginning a conversation on affordable financing and whether it's a conversation on allowing as many Ugandans to be part of this development and own a share.
This is the future.
So the Capital Markets Authority has begun their homework on that end. We want to appreciate them. We want to appreciate Civil Aviation Authority, who continue advertising the buses across the country, and especially in Kampala and Entebbe, where they transport their staff on every single day, and they've never reported any problems with the buses.
Exactly.
Never reported any problems with the buses. We want to appreciate a very important group, and maybe we may not have a chance to appreciate you. Our STI Secretariat, STI team, the entire STI team. Please stand for recognition. STI, all of you stand. I know you're many here. Let us appreciate what you're doing for innovation and, of course, the sciences. Our Undersecretary is there, and his team. Thank you so much for all you're doing at the Secretariat. It's a team of I wonder what the Honorable Minister does, because it's a team of really young people.
Very exciting.
Who literally have the shortest attention span. And
he said it. I didn't say that.
I imagine a meeting where she wants to give her entire strategy and they're looking at their phones, looking at ChatGPT.
But that's good. Get more and more done in the quickest time possible.
Yeah, but we really want to appreciate the young people at STI. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And the rest of the protocol, we shall appreciate you and recognize you while His Excellency is here. And we see movement. So, Christo, very clearly, things are happening, and shortly.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor will be joining us shortly, and we shall get into the program. Just a reminder again, we have been given a very brief window, so we'd like to ask all our speakers to be as brief and concise as possible. Thank you so much.
So the protocol to these things is that, of course, when His Excellency joins us, we'll all be upstanding to honor his arrival here at the commissioning, the official commissioning, and thereafter we'll have the anthems, and after the anthems we'll have prayer. We want to dedicate this commissioning day to God. We started earlier this morning with you and of course, Coach, praying for this institution, and we also will then quickly have an opening statement from our CEO, who will then set the standard of how short the speeches will be. So no pressure, CEO, on how short your speech will be. But we want to receive our Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation in the Office of the President.
Yes, please give her a warm, warm welcome.
Our host minister. And we want to appreciate all of you, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the KIIRA Motors Corporation, and on behalf, of course, of the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, the Office of the President, for joining us for this official commissioning of the KIIRA vehicle plant.
Yes, indeed, the home of KIIRA Motors Corporation.
I wanted to ask, do you know how they call KIIRA in Busoga?
KIIRA. Did I say it right?
Well done. KIIRA.
KIIRA. Okay. I've been practicing for the record.
I think we should. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest is joining us.
We'd like to ask you to stand.
Yes. May we all be upstanding to receive our chief guest, His Excellency the President. And immediately we'll have our chief guest settled in. We'll ask for the anthems, and our team should be on standby for the anthems as we receive His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. Big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome, Your Excellency.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain on your feet as we received our guest of honor, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. Again, we shall immediately go into the national anthem, followed by the East African anthem. Blessings have brought us thus far. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to continue with an opening prayer from Pastor Andrew Chimuli, certified coach for the team here at KIIRA Motors Corporation as well.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of this beautiful country. We thank you for the gift of our president and the leaders that are present. Lord, we thank you for the gift of science and technology. We do pray today as we celebrate the amazing work that has happened at KIIRA Motors. We ask that you continue to guide us. We ask that you continue guiding our president so that we can move forward, focused on what you have for us as a nation. So we give you glory and honor. We pray this afternoon that your presence will guide every speech, will guide every activity we'll do, all for the glory and honor of your name. In Jesus' name, and every believer says, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. Your Excellence, our President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, distinguished leaders, and all invited guests. When I was asked to spend a few minutes talking about leadership, what came to my mind was the story of Joshua. Joshua is taking on to lead the children of Israel to cross to the promised land. And I'm shocked what God tells him in Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. God tells Joshua, be strong and courageous. There's something about courage. Courage sets leaders apart. When you see Nelson Mandela, the one thing you know, he was a courageous man. When you see my king, he had one thing that marked him aside, Kabalega. He was a courageous man. When you see our president, His Excellence, is a courageous man. So all leadership, what sets us apart is the courage we have. For so long, Africa has been lagging behind. I remember a few days ago, I took my children, my teenagers, to a game drive in Queen Elizabeth. And they told me they wanted to see the lion. And indeed, the next day we saw a beautiful, amazing lion in the jungle, marking his territory. And that lion had a lot of courage. They had just hunted, they were eating. And boy, my daughters enjoyed that moment and told them that lion is a courageous lion. Then after some few days, we passed by the zoo. We found a lion there. But the lion in the zoo was waiting to be given food. The lion in the zoo was waiting to be opened so that it can come in, go out. For so long, Africa has been the lion in the zoo. But with the leadership of our president, Africa has started rising. Uganda is rising. Uganda has risen. Today, as we celebrate immobility, we are the lion in the jungle. Uganda has become the lion in the jungle. We are not waiting for whites to invite us on the table. We are creating the table. We are not waiting for them to source us. We are sourcing, and this is a testimony. Your Excellence, thank you for your courageous leadership. Because what sets us apart is courageous leadership. Some leaders read history, others watch history, but you, Your Excellence, we have seen you writing history. And for that, we are grateful, because we are the lion in the jungle. As I leave this place, I want to ask each and every one of us, are you the lion in the zoo, or are you the lion in the jungle? For God and my country.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Coach Pastor Andrew, the lion in the jungle.
The lion in the jungle.
All right, that was powerful.
Thank you so very much for that.
Your Excellency, we wanted to introduce ourselves so that you can see us properly and not wonder where the voices are coming from. My name is Maurice Mugisha, and I serve at Uganda Broadcasting Corporation.
Your Excellency, my name is Crystal Newman. It is a pleasure to be here as a seasoned media personality across radio, television, and of course here for this commissioning.
She forgot to mention she's the daughter of Captain Newman. I just had to throw it there. Your Excellency, we did a very honored for you to be here with us. Can we appreciate His Excellency the President, ladies and gentlemen?
Today is an exciting day. We saw the birth of this dream in many ways with the KIIRA EV more than a decade ago, when that was the first African EV courtesy of Makerere University. And now that seed has borne fruit with this KIIRA vehicle plant. Exciting times and just the start of the journey ahead.
The lion in the jungle.
Yes, indeed.
Your Excellency, I'll run through quite a bit of protocol, and allow me mention, Your Excellency, that every other speaker after this, you can always just recognize the President and say, all protocol observed, because it's extremely long. And Your Excellency, we have just 20 minutes for the following speeches, and I will be managing them, Your Excellency, and with your permission, allow me to also manage the Honorable Ministers. They are very difficult sometimes, but I will try. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, we want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. The Honorable Ministers who are here, who are led by our line Minister, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovations, in your office, the Office of the President, please stand, Mama Science, so that everyone can see you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, she's accompanied by several ministers and she will do the honors of recognizing them. But we indeed are very honored to have the governor of the Bank of Uganda. Michael Atingiego, thank you, Governor, for joining us. Your Excellency, we have several heads of government agencies who are here, but allow me to single out first the chairperson of the National Enterprises Corporation, General Joram Mugume, please stand for recognition. And the chairperson of the Makerere University Council, please stand for recognition. Your Excellency, we have several key stakeholders, amongst them the private sector. But let us single out one of our biggest clients, the KIIRA Motors' single biggest client, the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. Please stand for recognition. But we appreciate all our key stakeholders, Britam, MTN, and the Capital Markets Authority that are here, and all the key stakeholders. And KIIRA Motors says these are their key partners, the Presidential CEO Forum, and of course, the GCIC that falls also under the office of the President. We really want to appreciate you. We want Your Excellency to appreciate a key stakeholder here, the Ginger District Leadership. Please stand for recognition. Thank you very much. We also have the immediate former Speaker of the Iala Parliament. He would have hidden a bit, but Your Excellency, we want to recognize our very own. Your Excellency, we want to thank members of the academia. Several universities are represented here. The professors who are here, please stand for recognition. Members of the academia that continue to drive sciences in this country, please stand. The professors, Your Excellency, they represent several universities and they are here to witness this landmark event. And finally, our religious leaders and all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome. We now want to take the singular honor of inviting the champion of the KIIRA vehicle plant. Probably he's also the oldest person at the corporation at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Executive Officer of the KIIRA Motors Corporation, Paul Isaac Musasizi, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, allow me to stand on the protocol that has been established this afternoon. It's a delight to have you back at the KIIRA vehicle plant, especially on such a special occasion where you've commissioned the plant, the biggest, most capable, and most competent bus manufacturing plant on the Africa continent. Standing here today, I can't help but to reflect on what took place when you came to Makerere University on the 24th of November 2011 and unveiled and launched Africa's first electric vehicle designed and built at Makerere University by a gifted team of youth guided and led by Professor Sandy Stephen Tikodri Togbowa. You reminded us on that day that that was a defining moment for the continent, if not for anything, for the reason that it demonstrated that once talent is supported and led very well, we can do anything that we set our hearts to. The KIIRA vehicle plant that you've commissioned today has evolved from what started as an extracurricular activity, and with the support right from Your Excellency, the President, the government through the different ministries, departments, and agencies, and the community of young people, with our professor providing leadership, we've been able to realize an iconic ingredient of the industrial growth that we prospect and we see as a key contributor to the tenfold growth strategy of the nation today. Your Excellency, back then, about 1.5 decades ago, you gave us 4 assignments. You tasked us to build the product. And today, we have been able to witness you hand over buses to clients. The product is on the market, and the product is attracting attention across the continent. And we are grateful for that confidence in us. Your Excellence, you asked us to build the team. And here today, we have over 407 workers at the KIIRA vehicle plant in a wide spectrum of professions: engineers, designers, architects, technicians, welders, carpenters. And I will request them wherever they are to stand up. Some of them are here, others are still on the line continuing with their work, wherever they are. Your Excellence, you will not fail to see two things as they stay standing. One aspect that is very evident is that these are young people. These are NRM babies. Most of them were born after the 90s, when you had secured the future of their parents. And now they are working to protect the gains, and they are going to work with you. Secondly, as you look at them, you can't fail to recognize that they represent the richness of the culture of this country. From the north to the west to the east, they all come, the central, and they work here, working to ensure that we protect the gains of the NRM government. Your Excellency, number 3, you guided us and you worked with your government. I see Honorable Kasaija is here, and he has always told us the money has come. So the money has been coming with an investment of $120 million between 2018 and today. We've built the plant, which was your third assignment. We've stepped into a defining future, and we are at a pivotal point where now we are discussing the fourth aspect that you assigned us, to build the business. And here we are very confident because we are not alone. You've been the biggest billboard of e-mobility solutions on the African continent, consistently. And we are confident that you're going to lead us to ensure that government and the private sector prioritize buying vehicles made here and also hiring vehicles made here, in order for us to have a compelling case as you lead us to export these products to the regional markets. Your Excellency, the products we have built have been carefully crafted to capture aspects that are key for competent deployment in the unique situation on the African continent. They have been built for comfort, they have been built for safety, and not to mention enhanced environmental stewardship, Your Excellency. As we look ahead past the buses, we are excited about expanding our top portfolio with your leadership to cover a wide range of segments. The buses, Your Excellency, are addressing the need of the more than 88% Ugandans who use public transport today. But then we have the other Ugandans who use other means, especially private vehicles, which is 90%. And these ones are the ones who have already gone into the upper middle income status and beyond. And for these, we are working round the clock, and with your leadership, we are confident that we will provide the sports utility vehicles, passenger vehicles, the vans, and the pickup trucks, so that we can also tap into that segment for product diversification. Your Excellency, I am led to remember when I was in high school, we were taught about Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer was a very inquisitive and ambitious young man. And wherever he was given something, he always sought and asked for some more. When a child is born, that is the beginning of the investment. The plant has been born. The business has been born. The team is right here. And this is the time that we invite Your Excellence to lead us to ensure that we inject the necessary level of investment to unlock the potential, scale production, diversify our market, and also tap into the different value chains that are relevant to realizing what we do here. Vehicles have steel, which comes from iron ore. So that is the steel and the iron, or the iron and steel industrial value chain. It's a very deep value chain. It's a very big one globally. And this plant unlocks that opportunity for Uganda. The vehicles have leather and textile for interior upholstery and the seats. That is a very good value chain, which we would like to enhance and create not only deeper value addition, but also create more jobs. The vehicles have electronics and software. That is now high-tech integration of systems, including what we call the Industry 4+, amongst others. I can go on and talk about glass from the silica sand. I could talk about the bamboo boards that we use, the wood and the carpentry. But in a nutshell, it is quite often said that when you set up an automotive industry, you've actually unlocked the floodgates of industries, because this industry is an industry of industries. Your Excellency, this journey, we have moved and we are still going very far, but allow me to note a few pertinent individuals that we must celebrate through this journey. And I'll start with Makerere University. When we were at Makerere University, the leadership of the current Vice Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, was invaluable in encouraging us each day to focus and build the KIIRA EV. Later on, as we started figuring out how to move from a research and innovation initiative into an industrial enterprise for the country, we worked with UDC, and at Uganda Development Corporation, we worked with the Honorable Amelia. We worked with the Mr. Fred Ogene, I don't know whether he's here today, and Mr. Emmanuel Mutahunga, if they are here today. These ones helped us to shape those building blocks of an enterprise, asking the question of what is the strategy, what is the business case. Later on, you guided when you established a special docket for science, technology, and innovation, and we were guided by Honorable Elioda Tumwesije, Mr. David Obong, as well as Mr. Emmanuel Mugunga. They guided us, and we were able to start on this journey. And then you placed us under the capable hands of Honorable Monica Musenero, who has now delivered these key milestones. We are truly grateful for that leadership. But along the way, we have had a lot of support from so many people in the industry. I could not enumerate them one by one. We have a platform at the Presidential CEO Forum where you assigned us, which has been collecting most of us for policy advocacy and thought leadership. We have worked with possible domestic suppliers to start the conversations on how we can start sourcing some of the materials and parts locally, and some of that is already happening. And we see that the future is not only green and bright, but the future is standing on promises that cannot fail, and we are going to work with you to protect these gains. Your Excellency, today is your day, and allow me to once again congratulate you upon this milestone. I thank you very much for leading us to this point, and I know you're committed to lead us to the point where what we have here and what is going to birth will result into an ecosystem that will position Uganda as a net source of sustainable mobility solutions on the African continent. Thank you, Your Excellency, for God and my country.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the CEO of the team here at KIIRA Motors Corporation, Paul Isaac Mustasizi. Round of applause for him. Exciting times indeed, exciting times. There is a hunger, there is a drive to reach full capacity where 11 buses can come off this line, checked, tested, and certified on a daily basis. So there is a hunger and drive to reach that capacity, Your Excellency. We have recognized so many of the key players and stakeholders here today that have made this possible. It now gives me great pleasure to invite the chairperson of the National Enterprise Corporation, that is retired General Joram Mugume, to make his remarks. Give him a warm welcome.
It's okay. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. You are welcome. Honorable Ministers present, the board and management of KIIRA Motors Corporation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm General Retired Joram Mugume, the chairman of the board of directors of National Enterprise Corporation, the commercial and business arm of the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and Uganda People's Defense Forces. On behalf of the National Enterprise Corporation Board of Directors, and on my own behalf, permit me, Your Excellency, to thank you for finding time out of your busy schedule to come and grace this occasion of the commissioning of KIIRA vehicle plant constructed by National Enterprise Corporation here in Jinja Industrial Business Park. Your Excellency, following your directive of 6th November 2018, that NEC undertakes the construction of this project, NEC and KIIRA Motors Corporation signed a memorandum of understanding on the 16th of January 2019 that provided a legal framework that guided the construction process of this project. This was a big milestone for the country because for long, projects of such magnitude have been executed by foreign companies, who in most cases end up repatriating all their hard-earned foreign currency. I therefore want to use this occasion to thank you, Your Excellency, not only for the vision and decision to develop the automotive industry in Uganda, but also for the trust and confidence in the capabilities of National Enterprise Corporation and the UPDF to undertake the project of such magnitude that is of great strategic significance to our country. Your Excellency, sir, following your earlier strategic guidance that the National Enterprise Corporation, utilizing UPDF personnel of the Engineers Brigade, participates in national strategic projects in order to build internal capacity to be able to undertake major infrastructure projects in the future. NEC has since provided the umbrella and legal framework under which UPDF engineers have been able to operate. Your Excellency, it's now proven that through arrangements where government MDAs engage services of another government body like NEC/UPDF directly, if resources are available, other things being constant, government projects are executed in time and at a relatively lower cost, as you have seen with this KIIRA project, without compromising quality standards. This is because National Enterprise Corporation and UPDF most times do not incur additional expenses, like cost of money in the form of interest or bank loans, which increase project costs. And our primary motive is not to make big profits like foreign or private companies. Once all the resources are made available, the project usually takes a short time because, again, there is no much bureaucracy involved which has in most cases been responsible for delays of many government projects. We therefore salute Your Excellency for that strategic decision and the huge opportunity given to National Enterprise Corporation that will no doubt go a long way in supporting your vision for self-reliance. As a country, I believe we don't have to look for external solutions all the time, because we have now built capacity to do some of the works ourselves. Indeed, as a National Enterprise Corporation Board, we support the development and building capacity of National Enterprise Corporation Construction, Works and Engineering Company to enable it undertake other major infrastructure projects in the country. Your Excellency, I want to thank and congratulate the leadership of KIIRA Motors Corporation for its commitment to the development of the automotive industry in Uganda and for the excellent cooperation during the construction of this facility. Before I conclude, Your Excellency, I wish to also inform you that before operationalization of this plant, KIIRA Motors requested to utilize our facilities of National Enterprise Corporation at Ruwero Industries in Nakasongora, working with the National Enterprise Corporation technical personnel. They assembled some of the electric and diesel buses there. I wish to thank the Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation and that of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for all the support they extended to National Enterprise Corporation, which enabled us to deliver this magnificent project. Finally, I wish to thank the National Enterprise Corporation leadership under the Managing Director, Lieutenant General James Mugira, who has not been able to attend this function because of other engagements outside the country, and the able team of UPDF National Enterprise Corporation engineers who have been responsible for this project. The General Manager, NEC Works Limited, Engineer Brian Buhanda, the team of UPDF engineers, technicians, machine operators, project administrators, they have done an incredible job. I request that they stand up for recognition. The team, Your Excellency, that's the team. Equally, they are all young men as well. Once again, I thank you, Your Excellency, for the continued guidance and support to National Enterprise Corporation. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we pledge to always follow your guidance to do our best to support the delivery of your vision to transforming this country. For God and my country, Aruta continua.
Your Excellency, I'll see if a lot of our members here went to Chankwanzi. So to appreciate NEC, I'll do this. Asante sana! We are all in class. Your Excellency, just last week, we were here for the National E-Mobility Expo, and Your Excellency Yobazukulu were here witnessing the milestone that KIIRA Motors Corporation continues to drive, specifically looking at showcasing Uganda's beautiful innovations that were here, catalyzing investment. We had several investment stakeholders who were here, including our corporate organizations from Uganda, but also regional and international investors. We had 7 countries represented here, and the CEO did pronounce to us a little later that several deals are in motion. We were also looking at promoting public awareness of Uganda's investment here at the plant, but also the Uganda's investment in the e-mobility space, and also fostering regional collaboration. And that's why, Your Excellency, you witnessed 2 buses that are set to be ported to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and will be part of the proof of concept for the regional integration and partnership with Tanzania for the public mass transport system there. And those buses produced by our very own KIIRA Motors Corporation. Can we appreciate KIIRA Motors, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, among the key stakeholders, we mentioned Makerere University. The council chairperson is here and the vice chair. May I take the singular honor of inviting the chairperson of the Makerere University Council to come and make her remarks. You're most welcome. Can we appreciate her, ladies and gentlemen?
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, please allow me stand on the protocol already established this afternoon. Today marks a historic milestone for Uganda, one that fills us at Makerere University with profound pride and gratitude. And, sir, just to once again request that the members of the University Council present and management of Makerere University please stand up for recognition, and I'll explain why. Thank you very much. The official launch of this state-of-the-art vehicle manufacturing plant represents not only an industrial accomplishment, but is a culmination of years of rigorous research and innovation that originated within the halls of Makerere University. And that's why I made special mention of the leadership. Your Excellency, this moment exemplifies the transformative power of university research when combined with visionary leadership and strategic investment. The journey from ideation and laboratory prototypes to the establishment of a world-class manufacturing facility demonstrates Uganda's capacity to compete on the global stage. Innovations and facilities such as this are a clear testimony of our readiness to lead Africa's industrial renaissance. Your Excellency, as we launch the KIIRA vehicle plant today, I'm pleased to report that Makerere University has developed several breakthrough research and innovation outputs. With targeted seed funding, these are poised to transition into the next wave of manufacturing industries, shaping Uganda's future industrial landscape and advancing our pathway towards economic transformation. I'll just mention a few. In the healthcare manufacturing sector, our researchers have developed and tested medical ventilator prototypes that can be manufactured locally at 60% lower cost than the imported alternatives. The Makerere University Lung Institute has successfully purified and clinically tested herbal medicines confirming efficacy for respiratory infections. With commercialization underway, these initiatives are projected to generate an estimated $40.67 million annually within 5 years. Clinical trials for diabetes and malaria treatments are advancing rapidly, positioning Uganda to capture significant market share in East Africa's $5 billion pharmaceutical market. In agriculture, technology, and food processing, building on successes from your presidential initiative on science and technology 2009 to 2019, our colleges of agriculture and veterinary medicine have developed resistant crop varieties and innovative animal breeds alongside complete value addition technologies. These innovations are ready to populate Ugandan market shelves with locally manufactured products. Our engineering innovations extend beyond automotive. We have developed prototypes for renewable energy systems, water purification technologies, and construction materials that can break new frontiers in new manufacturing sectors. Each represents a potential industrial cluster generating thousands of jobs. Your Excellency, your NRM Manifesto 2026-2031 outlines an ambitious vision for Uganda's transformative growth, with manufacturing identified as the second pillar of wealth creation. The Makerere University research outputs and innovations highlighted today represent concrete pathways to achieve this vision. My appeal today, Your Excellency, is that a comprehensive review of Makerere University's research and innovation portfolio be conducted. The blueprints for Uganda's next industrial revolution are already in place. What is required now is strategic seed funding to translate these laboratory successes into large-scale manufacturing realities that create jobs, generate wealth, and position Uganda as Africa's innovation leader. Your Excellency, this that we are seeing today is an example of that factor. Today, we proudly receive 3 buses from KIIRA Motors Corporation to support student transportation for field practicals and industrial training. Notably, Your Excellency, 1 bus has been specifically designed to accommodate students and staff with special needs, underscoring our shared commitment to inclusive education. By procuring from KIIRA Motors, Makerere affirms its confidence in Ugandan-made products and encourages all government entities to prioritize local manufacturing. Your Excellency, we thank you for your visionary leadership, and with your continued support, the next KIIRA Motors success stories are already emerging from our laboratories, poised to transform Uganda's industrial landscape. Makerere University remains firmly committed to serving as a key driver in this national journey of industrialization and economic transformation. Today's launch is more than a celebration of industrial achievement. It is a reaffirmation of Uganda's determination to shape its own economic destiny. It is proof that we possess the intellectual capital, technical expertise, and entrepreneurial spirit that is required for sustained growth. As Makerere University, we pledge to continue nurturing innovation, advancing research, and developing the human capital that will power Uganda's next generation of industry. Together with government, industry, and our communities, we will ensure that laboratories of today become the factories, enterprises, and opportunities of tomorrow. I wish KIIRA Motors Corporation tremendous success and look forward to celebrating many more Ugandan manufacturing triumphs in the years ahead. For God and my country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chairperson of the Makerere University Council, that is Ms. Lorna Magara. Round of applause for her and for her submission. Your Excellency, last week we had the National E-Mobility Expo, and a number of delegates were here from all around the world. And I have to say, the feedback was astonishing. It was incredible and full of admiration. It is very clear that this facility you see here is recognized as the largest, most capable, and most advanced bus manufacturing facility across Africa. Your Excellency, it is a testament to Uganda's commitment to industrialization, job creation, and of course, a sustainable future, ladies and gentlemen. It now gives me great pleasure to invite someone who has been instrumental when it comes to her vision and guidance, but also her heart and enthusiasm, affectionately known to all of us as Mama Science. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Honorable Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation, Office of the President, Dr. Monica Musenero-Massaga. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and you will permit me, though I stand on protocol established, just to take 1 or 2 minutes to introduce my colleagues, the ministers, who have left everything to come and be here to witness this event. The honorable ministers, please, if you could stand up. I'll start from the utmost, my extreme right, the chief lawyer, Honorable Mao. Thank you so much for coming. We have the man of defense, Honorable Both Mukedi. I have my judge, Your Excellency, because he's a Mnyoro and my mother is born by the Banyoro, so that's why he's my... So, Honorable Kasaija Matia, the Minister of Finance. I have my mother, she's a Mnyoro lady, Honorable Mugasa, and there is Honorable Anyakon, Minister of State for Gender. Colleagues, thank you so much for coming to be here to witness this. I also want to recognize and introduce our chair of the Science, Technology and Innovation Committee of Parliament. Very, very supportive and always around to help me. I don't know if there are any other members of Parliament who are present. That is Honorable Alex Nyonshaba. We have many individuals that have already been mentioned. Allow me to write on the protocol, except Honorable, our chair of the NRIP committee, the chair of the National Research, Dr. Reverend Senyonyi. He has helped us to guide us very well to shape your fund, which you set up for the innovators. I would also like to just take this opportunity to introduce my staff at Science, Technology and Innovation, who work very hard behind the scenes to come. Our accounting officer, Jenny Bareche, who is not here, but she has done a fantastic job making sure that we have the resources. Here we have the undersecretary, who is the functional person at STI, and the technical team that is behind me there. They call themselves Rangers because they operate on a semi-military principles. So they are called Rangers. I'd like specifically to mention two because, Your Excellency, you appointed them, but they were picked from KMC. And they seeded us with a work ethic at the Science, Technology and Innovation. That is Alan. Alan was taken from here and brought to science and has driven the bigger ecosystem of mobility. He's the team lead. And then there is a lady. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe just moved. This lady designed this plant. She designed the plant. If you appreciate the beauty, she's a Thatcher. This is the lady who designed this plant. She's an architect. Thank you. Your Excellency, I will not speak so much, but I just wanted to recall from your directive of January 29th, 2021, while establishing the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat at the Office of the President, in that directive, you stated that you wanted a science-led socio-economic transformation. And since then, that became our driving mirror. That has become the guide all the time, every day. Are we transforming the economy? Are we creating things which are going to yield to your vision? And Your Excellency, on June 15th, 2023, while giving your speech at the budget, you concretized that for us when you said the next stage, which is going to be knowledge-led, was going to lead us to the qualitative leap. And since then, that has guided us, and we work to follow your vision. We listen to you intently. We study your speeches, state of the nation, to make sure that we are on course. And Your Excellency, today, we invited you to come, not only to commission, but also to receive your guidance on what should we do next. You gave me 8 industrial value chains, and this is just one. And across the other ones, there are lots of things happening, which we hope to invite you to launch maybe in the next Chisanja. But all of them are following this kind of magnitude. I'd just like to say that, Your Excellency, if there's one thing that we have achieved, we have rebuilt our confidence. We are building the confidence not only of Ugandans in ourselves, but also Africans. Missing the 3 industrial revolutions made Africa lose their confidence in what they can do. We became dependent. We didn't trust ourselves. And as I joined this team in 2021 and started working on this facility, the echoes were like, we can't do it, we can't do it. Your Excellency, I know you have a meeting with us tomorrow. We will show you what we have done and built. So I will not take a lot of time. We have already shared our requests. I would just want to request one of the ministers, my judge, to come and invite you. Thank you.
Should I proceed or not? Protocol, help me. May I start or may not until he comes back? We wait for him, then let me go back and sit.
All right.
Yes. It's quite a breeze, right? The Honorable Minister, I see my minister is...
Since I had cut my speech,
please go ahead.
Allow me to give you a few things when Paul talked about this being an industry of industries. Right from here, we have about 8 SMEs that have arisen, and they exist solely because of KMC. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Sir, President of Uganda, when I came this morning, first of all, my daughter here rang me when I was in Kampala, not knowing that I'm coming here. I was going to proceed to look for politics in somewhere. But I'm very glad. I should thank her, because if I did not see and hear, I would be really short-listed. Your Excellency, mine is going to be just one word or one issue. The minister in charge here, when we were working in the facility, he challenged me and said, I want you to give me $143 million and you will see the things I will do here. So, Your Excellency, that's a date between you and them. And I will work as hard as possible to make sure that they have got that $134 million. Sir, with that mention, I suggest that, sir, you address us and answer also the question which I have also put.
The Honorable Ministers, the Members of Parliament, the Managing Director of the factory here, all the scientists, the engineers of NEC and the chairperson of the board of NEC, and all the invited guests. For abaganda b'omu Lukola, tulina enjogera yaffe. Tugamba nti abaali baseka the big crisis in Africa is the understanding, has been the understanding for a very long time of political economy. This is what built the NRA. Political economy is the study of the laws that govern the evolution of society. Society has been here, human being has been here on earth for the last 4.5 million years. But because of colonial indoctrination, you find these academicians don't know much about political economy. When we came from the bush, I tried to introduce it, but they messed it up. They distorted it. They started creating what they call development studies, something totally different. Now, because the National Resistance Army and the student groups of the 1960s were very clear about this. That's why we never get diverted. And you remember when we came from the bush, we had the 10-point program. And point number 5 was talking of building an economy which is independent, integrated, and self-sustaining. And integration meant two things, two dimensions. There would be the vertical integration, but also the horizontal integration. Now, the crisis, Uganda's economy is growing and transforming. We are now going to grow at 7% this financial year. With our oil, we are going to grow above 10%. There's nothing that will stop us, because we are clear about what is required to transform society. Now here, the vertical integration here is still partial, because what we have now is that we have got skilled scientists who are using imported steel, because this steel we are using here, we are still importing it. What Mr. was showing us, the tubes, then the sheets which are used to build the bus are still being imported. But soon, with our iron ore, we shall be able to. We have got some steel factories. We have got some steel factories using scrap. But scrap is not good enough for this type of work. Therefore, it is the new factories we are building. I think we are going to even commission one, ground break for one on the 18th of October. With the presidents of East Africa, they will come in Tororo, so that we start purifying our iron ore, processing our iron ore into the high quality steel, which is what they need here, so that we don't, because the steel imports alone in Uganda are $900 million. You can imagine all that money going out. It is as if the country has no leaders or planners. And you have got planners, commissioner, or I don't know what. What are you commissioning? You are commissioning hemorrhage. There is a disease in the Bible which Jesus talked about. The Banyankole call it a kejuiso. Hemorrhage, when somebody is bleeding, you don't stop. So $900 million is going out to import steel. We have got the best iron ore in the world in Kabale and in the Togota area. So why should this happen like that? Now, so the vertical integration, you had Musasi telling you about the batteries, because these electric vehicles need electric batteries, which are made from lithium. And there's quite a bit of lithium in all these areas, in Tungamo and so on. So we are also going to work on that. So what has happened here is some partial vertical integration, where you have the imported steel using our skilled labor and our electricity to produce these vehicles. This is the beginning. But what is already taking place is the horizontal linkage. Because we have been having transport. Transport is a sector. In Tambulas, transport for human beings, for cargo. It's a whole sector. Consuming a lot of money. But all of it not integrated with the economy of Uganda. Integrated with Japan, integrated with other people. So for the first time, the transport sector is beginning to be integrated with the industries of Uganda in the form of KIIRA vehicle plant. Now, once and then it will go into other sectors, because transport is one sector. Then you have education, you have tourism, linkage from ground to up and horizontally. This is what is beginning to happen here. If we do it successfully, we shall save $800 million for steel alone. Because Msazi told you that we are spending $800 million for vehicles imported from outside. Now, this is in addition to the $900 million for steel, because some of the steel is not for vehicles, it is for other things. So you can imagine, all the money we get from coffee goes back. So therefore, it is really a disaster to see what's happening in Africa. You find people are just talking about this, they don't talk about this huge hemorrhage. I have not heard anybody talking about it. The newspapers, this so-called media. What are you talking about? You don't talk about your future, how you can survive. I have not heard anybody talking about the hemorrhage. This is the biggest problem of Africa. Now you can imagine the jobs you are talking about. Those young people whom I found there in the factory, those have jobs now. They are all engineers. Where would they be working if we didn't have KIIRA now? Where? And you have people calling themselves leaders, calling themselves planners, commissioner of backwardness. It's really so sad. You feel so, and then they are being pampered and flattered by the imperialists, because they see they don't know what they are doing, and they will be used to sack our country. So therefore, what is happening here has already happened in some of the sectors. Like if you take the sector of the milk sector, because this is where I started, from the Rukora there. Because you can imagine, in 1952, when I started walking to the trading center of Ntungamo from our home, I started seeing in the shops of the Indians small tins of tinned milk. It was called condensed milk from New Zealand in Ntungamo. You know, they were buying tinned milk from New Zealand. And 2 miles away, our Kuraro, we had milk. But our milk could not go into the factory. So when we started our student movement, one of our first things we did in that area of the cattle corridor was to modernize the dairy industry. And when we came from the bush from 1989, we introduced milk coolers. Now the whole sector is vertically integrated from the farm to the table. but also the horizontal, because like now, apart from we are now exporting to the United States a protein called casein. Casein is a protein from milk, which apparently is used in medicine and things like that. So therefore, what you are witnessing here is the partial, not total. We are beginning implementation of the integration, vertically, but also horizontally. Now, if you look at the milk industry, what milk are the people drinking in the hotels? It is the Ugandan milk, Ugandan butter. So which means the dairy industry is now linked with the tourism industry. What will be the point of bringing tourists? And when they arrive here, they are drinking milk from New Zealand. All the money the tourists have brought goes back. When we came from the bush, there was something called Uganda Dairy Corporation. That dairy corporation, they would get powdered milk from Denmark and put in water of Lake Victoria here and stamp it Uganda Dairy Corporation. This is really amazing. And they didn't see anything wrong with that. So when I told them, I said, no, these Banyankore, who have been keeping cattle for the last 7,000 years, they can produce milk for Uganda. Somebody said they can't manage. Those are producing milk for drinking in their kraals. They cannot produce milk for industry. I said they can. So this is the big battle we have been having. What Musevenii is talking about, lack of confidence, which the Africans had developed. I can see some of our generals, like General Mugume there. When we were fighting, I went to Nairobi, I went to Europe, and some people came to see me. They said, you know, what we should do is to hire Israelis to kill Idi Amin. I said, but if you want to kill Idi Amin, why don't we kill him for you? that Israelis should be the ones to be hired. You can't believe it. These are educated people putting on ties. What? It's really like a sickness. So I told those people, I said, first of all, we don't believe in assassinations. We shall remove Idi Amin, lock, stock, and barrel, uproot him completely. That's what we are working for. Not kill Idi Amin, and then you get Maria Mungu coming up. But secondly, if we want to do anything, we shall do it ourselves. So therefore, I'm very glad that, because the people who I must congratulate Paul Musasizi in particular. Because he's the one who made the Sumoro something there, which I found, the Kasumoro one, looking like a teen. Karingaka Kevi. I found it there at Makerere. It is the one which, of course, I was already thinking about all that, but I was very happy to see that one of our young scientists had actually moved. And it is from there that we started funding them. That's where we are now here. Now, regarding the future, I don't see any problem. That $143 million, we shall get it for sure. And we shall also start planning for, because that one will deal with the expansion and completing this one here. Mr. told me that that will enable us to produce 10,000 vehicles a year, because what you have now will produce 2,500. So with the 143 million, we shall be able to produce 10,000. But we need to start on the lithium batteries, because Mr. has told me that lithium battery takes about 60% of the cost of the vehicle. So in order to get all our money here, we must resolve the issue of the lithium batteries made here. I'm talking with a number of investors. They are coming, actually. They are coming in big numbers. We may not even have to use government money only. The investors can bring their own money and share with us. So therefore, really, I congratulate everybody. I congratulate you Ugandans for gaining your confidence and standing on your own. As you have seen, these few steps we have taken, our economy is very stable. The shilling is gaining always against the dollar. You can see it. The shilling is not losing value. Why? Yes, we are still importing, but not too much. You can imagine some of the countries import food. They don't have food. And you remember the other time when there was a war in Ukraine, people were crying. So, what shall we eat? I said, what's the problem? Because there will be no wheat from Ukraine and from Russia. I said, what happened to muhogo? Don't you know muhogo? Why don't you eat muhogo? It's like a sickness. You have millet. Millet is much better than this wheat you're talking about. But they don't call it food. They think that wheat is the food. But what day? So that's why our currency is now stable, because we are still importing unnecessarily, but we are not as bad off as other countries. And Musenero is telling you about the drugs which our people have discovered from our traditions. They have actually found a cure for diabetes, complete cure. They found a cure for cancer. There is also a cure for malaria. So therefore, your country will, you the scientists, please wake up and dig more into our heritage, into the practices of your parents. They are all scientifically based. Amos Kaguta was a scientist. This is what I've been telling some of my scientists. Because Amos Kaguta and his colleagues, his group, he had a number of tools they were using. But one of them was called Ombunduru. Ombunduru was something they would use to brand, I think you call it branding, to apply heat to the cow. And you could see that they had the basics of science very clearly, because the mbundur proper would be iron or steel or whatever, a kyoma, but it would have a wooden handle. You can see the principles of science. The iron is a high conductor of heat. But the wood is a poor conductor of heat. So Mr. Kaguta would put the mbundu in the fire to go red hot, but use the handle to hold the handle, to handle the red hot and apply it on the cow. Science, this is science. Material science. This is material science. Which material is a conductor of heat, which is a bad conductor of heat, this is what science is about. But part of the problem, part of the inferiority complex is that many of the people don't even understand the basics of science. They are mystified. They are mystified. They are not able to tell material science and how it is affected by electronics, even the AI they are talking about. It is the same process. To get the materials which can do what, which can do this, do the other one. So we need a real awakening and confidence to know that we have been a science society for a long time. The way our people make beer, this is science. Fermentation, how to make the bananas ripen in the ruina. It's called a ruina, where they bury the bananas for some 4 days, then they ripen, then come and get the juice. Some of the science people don't even know about it up to today. You hear these people, these ignorant foreigners, talking of tomato juice. I tell them, how can tomato have a juice? Tomato is a vegetable. So what they do, they oxtruma. They don't even have words. I want to learn the Banyankore words. When you get tomatoes and you oxtruma, you mash them, and then you put water and you call that juice. This is not juice. Juice is from bananas. I don't know whether the scientists there can tell us the biochemistry which happens when you... Can somebody tell us the biochemistry of juice converting amenvu into juice? Does somebody know that biochemistry? Musenero's groups. We have not bothered to study it. Musenero herself wants to help us. You come and help us. Biochemistry, this is very... When I was in Dar es Salaam, fighting Yamin, Mama Janet showed those... They didn't know in Tanzania how to make banana juice. And she showed them how to make it with her hands in the safuria. And they were saying, our Ghana kama wazungu. What is the biochemistry of converting amenvu into juice?
Your Excellency, the bananas have sugars, they have the carbohydrates. And some of that carbohydrate is fibrous. But they also have a lot of water, and they have, when they have ripened, some of the starch, the carbohydrates which are complex, they convert into sugar, and which is sweet. So when you apply either the energy, like you see we use grass or something which is hard, it causes the separation of the sugars and the water from the fibrous material, and you are able to trap the other ones and separate the juice. In some cases, they use enzymes. In those modern facilities, they just apply enzymes which will digest and cause the sugars to go out. But when you ripen them, the process of ripening causes some of the carbohydrates to be broken into sugars. That's the difference between the sweet banana or the ripened banana, because it has a lot of sugar and less fiber. So when you apply that mechanical energy, the way we make it here, either the Basoga use their feet. In my place, we use the hands. I don't know whether the Banyankore use the hands, but you have to apply something.
We're originally using feet.
The Bagwere cut grass, spear grass, and then they trap the bananas and squeeze them. That causes the separation.
Yes, they use omsojo. Omsojo, there's a particular grass which they use.
Yes.
Or they use obgara, the ones of the top of the papyrus.
Yes. So when you do that, you could also boil, but that changes the taste because it affects the biochemistry of the sugars. If you boil the ripe bananas, they will separate, but the taste is not the same as when we do the ones which are just ripened.
So this is really what we need to... You need that awakening to know that what is science essentially the learning how to use the laws of nature to solve human problems. Much of the science is from natural laws, which if they are understood, they would be used. Gravity, pressure, light, these are all natural laws of nature. So I want to congratulate the Makerere University, because this is where Musasis and others started. Then I want to congratulate KIIRA Motors. And I want to congratulate the Enterprise Corporation, National Enterprise Corporation, because you are all now showing that you can do it. This is the lack of confidence barrier which you are now breaking. I think everybody will now be confident that it can be done, and you can do it, and you have the capacity. So I congratulate you, and I wish you good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we be upstanding as
We appreciate His Excellency the President. Your Excellency, we'll have the anthems in reverse order, and thereafter, Your Excellency, we just have one ask. There's a couple of photos we'll have here, guided by your protocol team, and then we'll allow you to depart. May we have the anthems, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, please do take your seats. Your Excellency, as we invite the very first team, the KIIRA Motors team, you know yourselves, you're 21 in number, representing all the KIIRA Motors staff. Please come very quickly. This is really about you, Christo. This is really about KIIRA Motors.
It's truly about KIIRA Motors Corporation and what has been done, what we have seen in this space with the commissioning of the KIIRA vehicle plant. We are setting up on the side where we have a blue carpet, so would like you to quickly make your way to the blue carpet where we'll be having some pictures taken very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for being here for this major milestone, not just for Uganda, but for Africa.
The KIIRA vehicle plant here in Jinja, and of course, as I talk right now, he's going to be taking some photos with some of the few selected dignitaries, actually those who are strictly actually running this plant. A lot of things, a couple of things have actually been talked about. President Museveni did mention about building an economy which is actually integrated and self-sustaining. But of course, he says there is hope that, of course, with oil manufacturing, we shall grow at about 10%. But of course, looking at the next financial year, we shall grow at about 7%. He did talk about 143 billion shillings, which will be good so as to produce about 10,000 vehicles. Those are the vehicles that are actually being looking forward to be actually manufactured at this very particular plant. But of course, right now, talking about 25,000 of those that have actually been so far been manufactured at this very particular place. He did talk about how best he is negotiating with a number of investors. Those are actually coming through at any time from now to see how best they can actually invest more in Uganda, but also in this very particular plant. He did talk about starting to work on the lithium batteries because it consumes about 60% on what is actually being put on the vehicles. President Museveni also did talk about how our economy is gaining and the shilling is actually being stable. And for those who have actually always been following the recent addresses where the Minister of Finance has actually been talking about this, he does talk about how our shilling has actually gained, how stable it is, and how our economy is actually growing. And he did promise that given the mandate, he will be in position to look for the required money to ensure that a lot of work is being funded at this very particular place. He did talk about the scientists that have actually found a cure for a number of issues when it comes to the health sector. He did talk about how the scientists have actually found the cure for cancer, the cure for diabetes, and the cure for malaria. But of course, not forgetting a number of dignitaries who are actually gracing this occasion. There is Honorable Grace Mary Mugasa, the State Minister for Public Service. She is among those who are actually taking a moment photo with the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. But of course, we also have Honorable Esther Davinia Ajekun from the Ministry of Gender. We also do have the Governor Bank of Uganda, Professor Dr. Michael Atingi Ego, among others who are actually gracing this occasion. President Museveni did mention about scientists being more serious to see how best they can actually dig deeper and finding other solutions to see how best Uganda can actually come out from that situation of importing very many things and actually exporting things from outside countries. He did say that, of course, Uganda is still actually exporting, but a few of those are actually being exported out of from other countries, so meaning that Uganda actually where we are right now, he says a lot must be done to appreciate what has actually so far been put on table. Honorable Monica Msenero in her speech did talk about how science is actually leading transformation and the think tanks of the economy to see how best Uganda can actually be transformed from where it is right now. She did talk about the 8 industry chains that was actually she was given and guided by the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and she says this is actually one of those that actually she is championing to ensure that actually Ugandans benefit more from this. But also President Museveni is actually done from taking pictures with the stakeholders. Those are actually who are behind this innovativeness, those who are actually behind the ideas of putting this plan together, but of course championing the scientists. And actually, if you do remember, a few days ago, President Museveni, a few years ago, President Museveni did mention about increasing salaries for scientists. So that means that we'll be actually doing whatever it takes to ensure that a number of things are actually put in place. At a later time, I will see if I can actually talk to some of the stakeholders at this very particular place to see what they have for us, given the fact that President Museveni has actually officially launched this plant. There is a lot to take note of. Minister Mateka Sage, of course, did talk about the $1 million that are actually required by the Ministry of Science and Technology. We shall be talking to Honorable Monica Msenero to give us actually a brief to find out what next. Honorable, the President has officially commissioned the plant. What next for you? Now that you're the head, Mama Science, just like you've been called, Honorable.
Well, thank you very much, all of us Ugandans. This is a big milestone. The President has commissioned the plant. It is now official. Uganda is a car manufacturing country. We want Ugandans to begin buying the buses. We are not only, we started with buses, but soon we shall be making other cars, as we have announced. Secondly, begin to have confidence. We are going to be opening investment vessels so that Ugandans can participate in investing in this. This is going to be a big money maker. So for me, we go back to work. We go back to work to make sure that the buses are made, the buses are sold, the businesses are built. What we didn't say here is that in order to encourage every Ugandan to participate, and they need to see the value, we started a bus company, a bus operations company called eBus Express. Now, it's not that we want to benefit in everything, but we have started this as a franchise. So you, like a person, you can come to us and say, I want to operate eBus Express in, where do you come from?
If I come from Jinja, actually.
So for you, we started one in Jinja to show people how it works. So you can come and say, I want to operate eBus Express in Jinja,